Well, Neil, another 2-2 draw and another draw on the road. Just thoughts on the game, and also only five on the bench, just the setup leading into this game as well.
Yeah, so I'll start with the bench. Obviously, we had two players come off injured at Southend in Tariq and Timmy. Both, we think, low-level tweaks of their hamstrings, but we couldn't risk even trying to put them out there again. So we have to let them recuperate. Junior Murray's little boy had been ill in hospital. Struggling with breathing and stuff, so he missed training Thursday because he was up all night and absolutely, as you would do, told him to be with his family and his boy, so he couldn't even be on the bench to give us the option or play. So it is what it is. We found all these. Lewis Walker failed a fitness test on Thursday, as did Tariq. So by Friday morning we was to 16 players and without an attacking sort of option off the bench. So it is what it is. We're not going to moan about it. Everyone's doing their best. The physios, the fitness team, we're all doing our best. It's an accumulative load of games, and the same sort of 16, 17 players have been going out there and doing it every week. So every now and then you have to give it. It happens at Arsenal, it happens at Chelsea, it happens with the best teams with the best facilities. So it's certainly going to happen as well to Woking. So that's the sort of injury front. On the pitch, I thought Boston were excellent. I thought first half we managed them really well. They kept trying to put it on us. I thought we managed it really well. And when you actually look at clear-cut chances, we've not only scored, but Innie's had a beautiful chance from Chicks' cross to score and a 1v1 that we need to hit the target with. But he deserved that with his effort today and the way he sort of played as a bit of a powerhouse up there in a tough away game. Second half, it was relentless. They came at us. The energy they played with was tough to play against. Not that we didn't match that energy, but we had to, just to even try and get a foothold in the game. We realised halfway through that we needed to change the shape, but obviously didn't have a centre forward to bring on, so we pushed Denon up front and played with Denon up front and H as a 10 and tried to play a 3-5-2, and that worked because we started to get a little bit more. Obviously got the goal, and they just kept putting it in, and the long throw's obviously a massive weapon of theirs, and they've scored from one, which we're disappointed with. That was, it's kind of, they'd brought on two subs, we was bringing on a sub, we were trying to organise who to pick up. Players had to change because they brought on a centre forward that was 6'5", and we needed Chin to pick him up, so we're trying to rearrange the marking, and that's fallen in the gaps where the players scored. And we do say to the players to, if you see anyone unmarked in the box, just mark him and then let's talk about it after. So that was the difficult part of that. And then obviously the equaliser's really tough because again, long throw, we perhaps come round to cover, you're trying to protect that lead, and we've ended up getting overloaded as the ball's gone out the other side, and we make a great save and then score an own goal. It comes off us and goes in. So yeah, we're gutted, but it was probably the toughest away game we've had this season.
And I'm sure, first speaking for all the fans, we'd send our best wishes to Junior and his family and their little boy. And yeah, it was. I mean, in the second half, any neutral or anyone watching the game, once it got to 1-1, would say the most likely winners would be Boston, and it was a bit of not a stroke of luck because it was a really well taken goal, but to get our noses in front was a bit of a bonus, wasn't it? Or seemed to be at that time.
Well, it is, but we always try and say to the boys, if you have a setback in the game, like, reset as a group, don't crumble, don't and my message at half time was, don't try and win 1-0, go and get a second. But it's hard. The opposition, it's two teams out there, and the opposition put it on us at every opportunity. They run incredibly hard, they smothered us, and we just, lack of attacking options to maybe support any sort of told in the end because we just couldn't get out. And that made the game hard. We was against the wind second half, so everything was coming in further. The long throw was going further into our box, and it was tough. But 90% of the time, 95% of the time, we put our bodies on the line. We won our headers. We covered round. We did all the stuff that we needed to do, and the 10% that we didn't, we cost ourselves 2 goals, and that's the bit that we're all obviously devastated with.
Stepping back a bit, I mean, obviously looking at the end of this game, but also after all the games we've had recently, a lot of away games. What are your current feelings, if you like, of how that's gone?
Well, I think there's games we've had to dig in and graft out a point. Today's one of them. Southend was one of them. there's games at home where we, maybe the Tamworth game and the Ebbsfleet game where we feel we've lost 4 points, where we got our nose in front and we should have held on. So yeah, there's mixed feelings on both. But if you'd have said you're going to play 8 out of 10 games away from home, including Forest Green, York, and only lose 1, you would have said that's pretty good. Have we drawn more than we wanted to? Of course we have. We know that, but it's not. We're not going out to try and draw. We're digging in. We're working incredibly hard, and as a group of fans, I like to think they appreciate the fact that everyone's having a real go for them.
Certainly, the spirit's been obvious, I think, throughout this whole run. So, as we look ahead to the week, I mean, we're not privy, obviously, what goes on behind closed doors, but it's felt at times like it's counting the bodies and and so on. So, is it a bit of a relief to have a full week now and to begin to?
Yeah, of course it is. Absolutely, we need the physio needs to get some time with the bodies that we're trying to get back. Obviously, if you look at what we've lost with Matt Ward, Aidan, Lewis Walker, Junior Murray, straight away you go, well, there's 4 good players, and we haven't had them, and we still come away from 2 or 3 games without losing. So obviously not good news with Jacob Mazionis. It looks like his injury's a bad one. The scan has shown it's a bad one where he landed on his ankle, and we believe we won't have him for at least 6 weeks, which could be close to the end of the season. So that's really tough. And Chin stepped in and been magnificent, and hopefully we can get Timmy back soon. So it's one of these things. It's football, and the game's really, really tough, and the physical loads are tough, and sometimes they take their toll.
And just Barnet to look forward to.
Yeah, it's nice to be back home, but obviously we're going to be playing against, in my opinion, the best team in the league. They're brilliant at what they do, relentless, and it's shown that any team that plays against them has to play extremely well to even be competitive in the game. So we'll go away, spend a couple of days trying to count the bodies, work out how we're going to tackle Barnet. Hopefully, try and get at least 1 body back. If not, we might try and get 1 in, and just give us a bit more options, because these players have had to carry the load for quite a while now.
Well, as ever, thank you for your time, and well done to the boys who, I think, throughout every game showed such spirit, and I think you've commented on that a few times. So thank you for your time, and safe trip home.
Cheers.
We'll see you soon.
Thank you.